and welcome to Data Center Nation. My name is Ambrose McNevin. Today I'm joined by Yves Zischek, who is Managing Director at Digital Realty in Switzerland. Yves, welcome to Data Center Nation.
Hey, Ambrose. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Yves, please would you describe to us the concept of data gravity?
Thank you very much for this question. It's a very interesting one. It sounds very complicated, but it's very easy and comprehensive to understand. It's basically creating a hub of data, right? Data attracts more data. It's a very simple principle. It's like creating a marketplace for data. Or when you compare it with the airline industry, you create a hub. When you have interesting international flights, you also get the regional flights. And that's the same with data gravity. If you can combine the hyperscalers together with enterprise customers and some international carrier, you attract more data, and data attracts more data.
Fantastic. That's very, very, very clear now to me. So just a supplementary question on that. Do you see the role of digital realty? What role do you see in helping customers, as the ones you've described, on their data strategies?
Very good follow-up question. Thank you very much, Ambrose, for this. Look, there's different strategies for different companies, but what we can see is kind of general trends. So you see the trend to hybrid cloud settings. We see the trend for AI, which is the need of a lot of data. We see a lot of more data being exchanged, the need to be interconnected with each other. And we create a foundation, a marketplace for this, and we help on their strategy to achieve hybrid scenarios or meet other vendors or enterprises and to connect with them, exchange data. So we create this marketplace so that these different strategies, some of them are very specialized and some of them the broader setup, that they can fulfill their strategy. So to fulfill these trends, to have the framework for them.
Traditionally, infrastructure providers, data center providers have a natural ceiling in terms of their position in the stack. Now, large companies like yourselves, I understand, are very deeply embedded with your customers. Just could you expand a little bit on that, the type of data strategy engagement that you would have with them?
I come back to really the marketplace. Our data strategy with them is really to create this environment where they can grow with us, with their customers. Basically, it's to understand what is their need, where is their way going. What we clearly see is the demand for more data, faster data processing, with AI coming around the corner since quite a while now being named, and we see it now really growing. There is the growth for more data, fast computing, being close together, and our nature is really to be this marketplace, to really create this environment where fast data exchange is possible, where also the world is getting, closer. So we are offering really high-speed lines amongst the data centers. We have over 300 data centers around the globe. What we see more and more, the trend is as well, that is not only focused on one place, it's hybrid places, different places, and we try to create this exchange of data, that these data hubs can connect to each other.
Fantastic, thank you. Now, in Switzerland, famous for its privacy laws, famous for its banking, in terms of data regulation, security, privacy, and compliance, what part do you see DC infrastructure playing in ensuring that companies can meet their legal requirements?
It's, as you said, as long as most of the countries say our data should remain within our country, it's a good business also for the DC providers, right? That gives us kind of a nature to be here. And of course, we need to understand what our customers need to fulfill, right? We are not providing data ourselves. We're just providing, as you said, infrastructure. We provide infrastructure which has power, cooling, and physical security. So we need to ensure that this physical security really fulfills all the requirements they have, all the audit requirements in terms of access, logging all the access, having video surveillance, etc., etc. And this trend will go on and on and on. I think it's not going to be one day that access is an easy business all of a sudden. I think there's going to be more and more restrictions. We need to understand where they are going, especially if you're working with governmental companies or medical companies or the hyperscalers. And there is our job to provide the infrastructure that they can fulfill their requirements, especially in regards of audits.
Understand completely. Data sovereignty is obviously a huge issue.
Yes.
And more and more data center companies are placing their monitoring closer to the within the same territories as the where the data is residing, in order to avoid any kind of issues with looking in from the outside into how the infrastructure behaves.
Absolutely. I mean, that's also a reason that we have really people physically on site, right? I mean, to upgrade remotely software on our sites just should not ever happen, because we should be only on site. And that's what we are doing here. That's why we have people always 24/7 here. But it's a large driver, as you said. You could theoretically also say, like building information system, you do remote upgrades, but we just cannot let this happen.
And lastly, Digital Realty Trust, DRT, is a REIT, is a real estate investment trust. So how would you describe today's data center investment environment?
But what you can clearly see, and I was just this week in the parliament in Switzerland, there is no question and no doubt about that digitalization will continue. And as you said, data sovereignty of a country is becoming more and more important, especially when the political climate is changing. So I think there will be further growth. The question is, how is this growth look like? Is the big hyperscalers still driving it? What we can see here is the Chinese hyperscalers are now coming to the market. Alibaba, Tencent, Huawei, they're not being yet that much in Europe. So there's a whole kind of second wave that potentially could come. AI will be a huge driver for data centers, that's for sure, because you need super fast computing, being close, etc. And you need space and efficiency of cooling, etc., where we are specialized, or digital or data center providers are specialized. So there's going to be growth, but I think the growth looks differently. How? That's going to be interesting, and I hope we're going to see a lot of good discussions coming along next year.
Fantastic. Yves from Digital Realty, thank you for speaking with Data Center Nation.
Thank you, Ambrose, very much for your questions. That was been really good.